Welcome back to Afternoon Break. It's a week focused on educating the public about the dangers of childhood obesity, its effects on a child and society's health, while striving for ways to help fight the challenges. We're talking about National Childhood Obesity Week. Joining me now is former Atlanta Falcons, Savannah native, and partner of Urgent Kidz Care, Josh Mallard. Welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, this is personal for you. Growing up, you had struggled with childhood obesity. Would you walk us through some of those sort of signs and symptoms that we can be looking out for?
Sure. Growing up in Savannah, my parents, they were loving parents. Mm-hmm. They wanted to feed me every second they got. Unfortunately, they weren't really educated on childhood obesity and the effects of food. And some of the signs were I would just eat constantly. I would eat in depression. I would use depression a lot and eat. Okay. And I think that's the biggest sign that we see in our kids today.
Yeah. So what are some of those things, in terms of depression? It's the keeping to oneself. What was that looking like for you in terms of the withdrawn?
Well, to me, I had a lot of friends. So that wasn't an issue. But being overweight, I was always the butt of a joke and these type of things. So I was always motivated, and that's kind of the motivation that led me to talk to my mom and have her do some research and find out some healthy alternatives. Yeah,
and it can be tricky, when it's cold, when it's hot on both ends, kids are inside all the time. What are those tips and tricks for parents and guardians who are really struggling with, helping their kids stay safe and healthy?
Some children, they're not into sports, which is great. I think just having the children do their own research, make it a fun activity for the family. I think the research would be a key part in the learning process because they get to do it together.
Yeah, and to that point, childhood obesity continues to rise. It's now affecting more than 37% of children. Would you walk us through the importance of guardians staying educated and what that looks like?
Absolutely. I think as long as they do it together, it's a family exercise. Okay. They learn together. The things that my mom and I did as a child, we still do today. Yeah. All this, the oils, the correct oil to use, instead of deep frying, sauteing and grilling, those type of things really affected me as a child, and it's something I can teach today. Yeah,
we live in the South where food is plentiful and it is wonderful.
I'm not saying don't give your child a River Street Sweets praline every now and then, but just monitor it.
Yeah, it's moderation, which is something that we can all learn. Now, you're an aggressive advocate for childhood obesity. What can we do, as a society to help parents and guardians?
Just learn. Just know what's in the food. Know the effects, the long-term effects. I was even talking to a friend of mine, Dr. Bracy Holland. He's a pediatric dentist, and the children that have bad eating habits have bad teeth later in life. I know that sounds like an easy correlation to make, but little things like that could really help for a healthy adult.
Now, we're in a different world than we were when we were younger. There's a lot of technology. Can you walk us through, how did you overcome childhood obesity, and how can we do that, and how can we implement those things now with all of the screen time that's happening?
Well, I don't want to age myself, but as a child, there was books. You couldn't go online to get all the information.
And there still are books, everyone.
There are books.
Libraries exist.
Definitely read. But there's so much knowledge now. Yeah. Children could have it at their cell phones. Children that don't have Wi-Fi, they can go to requestyourtablet.com. Everybody in America can have Wi-Fi now. So there's an opportunity for anybody to learn and find out how to be a healthy adult.
Yeah, it really comes down to, like you said, having those activities as family, creatively finding new ways to stay active apart from that, social media, tablets, things like that. Now, in terms of, being a voice for this cause, what's next for you? How are you going to continue?
Well, I like to be approachable. I love to give any knowledge that I can. We have Urgent Kidz Care opening soon. Yeah. That's an opportunity for us to kind of help mold our children. It's going to give them a place to come when they're sick, but also give them a place to learn.
And it's so important, you guys. There's a very special event coming up on the 25th. Free school physicals that are being offered by Urgent Kidz Care. We've got the full screen information for you on the screen. It's happening July 25th. Josh, thank you so much for being here. We know it's, when you've gone through it, you come from this place of I know how to help others, and we appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, guys, we have more Afternoon Break just ahead. After the break, stick with us.